There's a threat growing all around us. It's silent, it's invisible, and it's turning our greatest medical weapons into basically useless pop guns. So today, we're going to dive into the world of superbugs and figure out how we can stop them before they stop us.
When you hear the words next potential pandemic, what comes to mind? Probably some new scary virus, right? But what if the next global health crisis isn't new at all? What if it's already here, quietly evolving in our hospitals, on our farms, and yeah, even inside our own body?
Okay, let's get right into it. This threat actually has a name. It's AMR, which stands for Antimicrobial Resistance. And you know what they call it? A silent, slow-motion pandemic. So what is AMR really? Well, to put it simply, it's when the germs, the bad guys, get smart. They learn how to survive our best weapons. Those medicines we've relied on for decades, like antibiotics, they just stop working. And that makes common infections incredibly hard and sometimes impossible to treat. It turns routine things like surgery or chemo into huge, life-threatening risks. So how in the world did we get here? Well, it really boils down to two main culprits: misuse and overuse. We're talking about things like pressuring your doctor for antibiotics when you just have a cold, or, and we've all been tempted, stopping your prescription early, just because you start to feel better. Both of these things give germs a massive advantage.
All right, so let's get into the good stuff, the villain's origin story. How does a regular, everyday bacterium level up and become one of these dreaded superbugs? It's a fascinating and, frankly, a kind of terrifying process.
This breaks it down perfectly. Okay, so it starts with an infection. You take antibiotics, right? But here's the crucial part. If you stop taking them early, you've only killed off the weakest bacteria. The strongest, toughest ones, they get left behind. And now they have the whole place to themselves. They survive, they multiply, they pass on their tough guy traits, and just like that, you've accidentally trained an army of superbugs.
Now, this isn't just a problem that happens inside one person's body. No, it's a huge global issue. It's what scientists call a One Health problem because, as you're about to see, everything is connected.
And this shows that connection so well. The antibiotics we use as humans, the ones used for animals and farming, and all the runoff that ends up in our soil and water, it is all part of the same big system. A resistant bacteria that pops up on a farm can and does eventually find its way into our hospitals. You just can't solve the problem in one place without thinking about all three. Okay, so that's the problem. And I know, it sounds big, it sounds kind of scary, but, and this is important, it is not hopeless. We all have a part to play. So let's get into our action plan, and we're going to start with a really clear list of things not to do. These 3 rules are pretty much non-negotiable. First, only take antibiotics that are prescribed to you by a professional. Second, you have to finish the entire course, even if you start feeling way better halfway through. And third, this is a big one. Antibiotics do absolutely nothing for viruses like the cold or flu. Using them for that is just pointless, and it only makes the resistance problem worse. Okay, enough with the don'ts. Let's talk about the do's. Let's flip the script and focus on the simple, positive steps that every single one of us can take to be part of the solution. So think of this as your personal mission. First, always listen to the experts. Your doctor for you, your vet for your pets. Second, you know the drill by now. Complete the full treatment, every last bit. And third, prevention is the best medicine. Simple hygiene, like just washing your hands regularly, is a super powerful first line of defense. And if you're wondering why all this matters so much, just look at this number, 10 million. That's the projected number of people who could die every single year from drug-resistant infections by 2050 if we don't change course. I mean, to put that in perspective, that's more people than currently die from cancer every year. The stakes just could not be higher. So, it all comes back to this. It's one interconnected system, and that demands one unified fight. This isn't just a problem for doctors and scientists to solve in a lab. It's a fight for all of us. Which leaves just one question, the one right here on the screen. Are you in?